Welcome back for another Zwift Insider Tiny Race series. I'm doing this series in category C. I wasn't going to do these series anymore because they don't get a lot of watches, but because of the way Zwift's Tiny Race series is more of a sprint, I think it'll be exciting for people to watch these races, me doing them, because as far as races go, the longer the race is, up under about 20 miles, I can kind of really keep up with my C guys. You've seen that with 7, 8, 10-mile races. But with these little sprints, everybody's fresh throughout the races. And you will see a lot of amazing results with these races that change the way you think about how I race. And plus, I get to learn, and I'm learning more about other people racing. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do this. What I'm going to do from now on is the stage race series, which we do every week. And I'm going to try to do the tiny race series. So I'm going to post videos usually Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's get into this. First of all, I want to thank everybody who subscribed to me. Thank y'all very, very much. I got like 197 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 200 for May 1st. We got about 3 days to get there, and I need 3 subs, man. Come on, get them for me, get them for me. Also, I'm trying to get this video up to 100 likes. Yes, 100 likes, that's a lot of likes, but I've never gotten a video up that high. I also try to keep my videos under about 30 minutes so they're not all the way out. I'm trying to learn how to do a lot of the stuff. I edit my own videos, so I'm learning as I go. I've only been doing this for like 6 months, and I don't have a lot of time to put into editing the videos, but you see I got a green screen behind me right now, if you can see it. If not, I figured out how to get rid of it and put something else there. If not, there's a green screen behind me. So I also want to thank everybody, like I said, everybody who likes and subscribe. But right now, I don't like my intros to be super long, and I don't like the videos to be super, super long. If I can figure out how to tag segment these videos so I can have race 1 and then you can just shoot race 2 or race 3 or 4, I will. I do have all the races because the results are surprising to a lot of people, and a lot of people want to see me race. So I have them here. They're sped up just a little bit, and then I slow them down some, so at the end. So right now, let's get into the races. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. And as you see, I take up on this race. The one thing about this first one, which I wasn't going to do these Saturday, but what happened is I was going to do a different race at 1 o'clock. And I mean at 5 o'clock in the morning, because these are all at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the race I was going to do only had like 4 people in it. So it was I think it was a cribs race. So I was like, I looked over and saw this race had about 75, 80 people in it for the category C, and I was like, that's more compelling for me to race against category C's. The only thing is, because I wasn't thinking about doing these races, I did not look at the Zwift Tiny Insider Race Guide to see how long this race really was. Now, if you look over my map, it says 2.4 kilometers left in it. I did not look at that. I was looking at progress, and it was saying 8, but that's for the whole race, if you do one whole lap. And I was looking at that, so if you watch the race, I think I actually could have won this first one because it's a downhill. I did not realize that, and you will see where I actually lost this race at. But if you look at this race, I'm riding with everyone, and I'm keeping up, so I'm thinking to myself, okay, I didn't know what this race was. I signed into this race literally 3 minutes before it started. So I'm going off of, okay, I don't know what the next one is for this one, but I'm just gonna ride this one. As we come around this hill, you know, I'm riding the back of the group, and I'm going, okay, cool. If I had looked up at my map and saw 1.7 kilometers instead of looking at progressive 16, I'd have been fine. But I was looking at that at the beginning of the race, so you'll see what happens as I'm looking at this. I'm going, okay, we're coming up. I know where I'm at right now so far in this race, but I don't know the route of this race. I haven't looked at anything about it. All I was studying was the cribs race. So as we come around this hill, I'm going, okay, cool. I want to catch up with everybody. But I'm looking at progression. I go, okay, I'm thinking in my head, we have about 78 kilometers, 78%. We're only 22% of this race done. In actuality, it was about 85, 90% of this race done. I did not know that. So I don't know why I wasn't looking, because we under 1,000 meters left right now. This is when I should have took off. Now I come down this hill. Now watch what I do. I come down this hill, and this is a sprint at the end of this race, which is actually built for me. I get to the top of the hill, you see I put the power in, and then I look up at the progression, and I go, oh man, I got a lot more of this race left. So I get all the way to the top. Look at me, I'm putting a lot of power in, and you know I normally power into downhills, and I power out of the race. You see I powered down? because I was thinking to myself that this race was going to be a real short race. I mean, a real long race. And I'm thinking we got another 60% of this race to go. Not until I come over the bridge and see watch me, you see when I try to power back into this thing, realizing I see the checkered flag and it's too late. Man, I was so hurt over that race. I came in 8th on this one. And man, that was hard for me. I was feeling it and I was really sad about that. Now you see what happens when you don't know the race, especially for me. Now that race, I probably could have won if I kept the power in. It's a short race. I could have boosted I could have kept the power in coming down the hill and I might have won. So now that I know that, now here's the funny part about that. I'm back. It's that I did not know what the second race was. Now, after this race, I do understand what's going on. But while this race is getting ready to start, I have no clue what it is. So because I did not look at Zwift, Tiny, and Siders, I didn't have enough time. Like I said, I came into this race 3 minutes before it started because I was going to do a different race. You will see a different result here. So let's get ready to start this next one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off again. Now I'm off on this race and we take off again. Now I know where to look. I'm looking at, I got 5.6 kilometers left in this race. So now I'm tuned in. So I'm looking at this race and I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. What is this race? And then I look at my map, I look at my phone and it says, I think it said like 3 miles. So then I realized, okay, cool. I kind of think I know what's going on, but I'm still not sure yet, y'all. So I'm riding with this race, not sure of what's going on yet. I know this is another route. We're going down the same route kind of. Now, once we get to the rolling hills, I kind of get a clue in my head what's going on. So as we come around here, I still don't know. And if you can look at my face, I'm just kind of really studying the screen, trying to stay in the middle of the pack, because I'm clueless to where we're going right now. I don't know when to attack. I don't know when to. Right now, all is in my head to attack is once I get to 1,000, once I get with the 1 kilometer or 1,000 meters, I'm gonna attack. But I don't know how to attack the race yet. So as we come around this race, I get to rolling hills and I go, okay, cool, we're going back over the same route. Now it's starting to click to me. I remember doing this last year on a race where we did 25% of the race, then we did 50% of the race, then we did 75% of the race, and then we did the whole race. Now, since I didn't want to burn myself out on this one, I figured what was going on now is we're at the 50% mark. And I kind of got an idea where this race is going to end. I'm thinking to myself, this race is going to end on the bike here with the 2 bikes. You see this giant statues of the 2 bikes. So what I think to myself is, I cannot burn myself out on this first hill. And there's a second hill that we're going to get to. I cannot burn myself out on that hill. So as we get to here, you can see that I'm riding, I come up the hill. I'm not going to go, you remember I went all 1,000 watts out in this hill. I didn't do that here. I kind of I back myself off to allow everybody else to catch up. And I know that I get to ride down this hill. You see, I put it in a little power so I can get a good speed so I can power. What I'm doing is super tucking down the hill. That's what I'm trying to get into. So I come down the hill and I get up to 60 kilometers on that hill right there. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, now what I'm gonna do is I slowly back out of my power. I slow down a little bit and I just kind of pedal in. You look at my pedals now. I'm pedaling in, but I'm not putting a lot of wattage on here. It's more like deals for me to bag down the tension so that I'm not pushing as hard as I have to so I don't get as tired as I have to. My heart rate was up to 162. But I'm getting back in line with everybody else and I'm riding into the draft on this thing. Now, I still don't know the exact course because I hadn't looked at it and it's been a while since I ran it. But then, like I said, I remember that we're going to end this race at the 2 statue bikes. I know that. So as we ride through it, I'm more getting myself familiar with the race. So as we get around this hill, I know, okay, cool. Once we get over this little hill right here, it comes down to a little negative. And that's where I get to coast that a little bit while everybody else is still riding. So I'm just trying to keep a little power. Anytime we get to 3%, I got to put power in because if I don't, I will get left. So as we come over this, I know there's going to be a slight decline. As you see, there go the negative numbers. Now I get to kind of slow down and let them catch back up to me. And what I want to do is, I see the 2 bike statues. I know what this race is going to end. It's going to end at the top of that hill. Now what I'm trying to do is figure out when do I attack this hill. Now normally I'll attack this hill right here, right just before you get to the hill, because there's a spot where I think it gets up to like 7-8%. I want to attack the hill at 4%, and then because I want to just ride, not attacking, but I want to speed myself up. I want to be putting out about 90%. And if you see right here, I'm gonna slow it down now. I'm gonna slow it down because here we is. I want to wait. I only should be putting in right here about 90%, maybe 85% right here. Now, once it gets to 4%, that's when I'm supposed to power in. But if you notice, I'm already all in. I started too early on the second hill. I am all in and I'm exhausting myself. Look at my heart rate, it's starting to climb. I'm getting tired. I'm very tired. And as you can see, everybody's coming up on me. Everybody's right there with me. I'm really tired. So now I am exhausted and now I've lost my power. I went from being in front of the line, as you can see right here, to where I'm just like, I just want to finish. Look at my heart rate is up. I wasn't ready for this. I over-measured. I started too early. It's about timing with me. I started too early. My timing was way off. Now look, I went from number one, and I'm in this race right here at the end. I am tired, so right now all I'm thinking about is just get this thing over with. I end at 38. I'm back here, and what I'm saying now is that you see how the first two, now I did 25% because I didn't know what the race was. I could have powered in that downhill and probably pushed myself to the front of the pack. Second race, if you notice now, I did not know the race course. Now, I'm starting to remember the race course. There are two hills. Now, I know that this one ends at the bottom of the second hill. So now that I know that, I know how to attack this race, but I cannot burn myself out on that second hill. All I need to do is keep up with everybody. I can let people lead out in front of me a little bit, and then on the hill, I should be able to get up to about 70 kilometers, and that should allow me to catch the whole pack and pass everybody at the bottom of the hill. That is my concept of thinking. So now I'm gonna try to implement that plan in action here. So we're gonna get into this race and see what happens. 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Now, as we take off on this race now, you remember what I told you. I'm going to try to implement the idea that I'm going to come off that second hill. I just want to keep the pack. I don't mind if they pull away from me because I should have enough distance in there so that I can catch them on the downhill. Most likely, I can get up to about 70, 72, 73 kilometers coming down that hill. Mostly everybody in front of me is going to be doing about 60 to 65 kilometers. So I know that with that, if I don't let them get too far ahead of me, I stay with that, you know, the first pack, maybe tilt a little bit with the second pack, I should be fine. That's what I'm thinking in my head. And that downhill would be the great equalizer for me. So I know I can push through here, but I just need to stay with that pack. So that's what I'm going on. That's my thoughts on this race right here. So that's what you think, that's what I'm thinking. So we get down through here and we're riding. Now, the one thing I've told y'all about me and Class C, fresh Class C's like the ones in the first race, they were fresh. And then the second race come, we got another 50% in this race. So now they're a little bit tired, but downhill, I get to push them so they don't get a break. So that's what I'm thinking to myself. I get to push them on the downhills where they don't get a break, but they got to try to catch up me so I don't leave them. So that's my whole plan of action right here on this race. So this is the 75% in race. So I know this is going to end on a very steep drop. So with that going being said, when we get to this first hill, my whole goal is to just stay with the pack. I'm not gonna let them leave me. I don't want to burn out and go crazy on this first hill. I just want to do enough so that they don't leave me and I can slowly catch up on the downhill. Now you see the guy way out in front. And I'm thinking to myself, sometimes you get somebody too far in front, they'll leave you too far that you can't catch up to them. But as we go, we slowly catch up to them. Now I hit the bottom of this hill, look what I'm hitting it at. About 46 kilometers when I peaked out there, and I come to the top and I power into the top of this hill. Now, as I get to the top of this hill, it's like switching into low gear. I come down a little bit because I know my weight is going to help me get down the hill. So now my object of this downhill is to rest. I want to get enough to get super tucked in, but I want to rest because the super tuck don't last long on this race. So I get up to 57, 58. I get right at the 58 kilometers down the bottom of this hill. And now what I'm doing is I hit the arrow helmet just before I get to these uprights. Bam, I hit it here. And I know I just got another arrow helmet. So now I hit the arrow helmet right there. Now you look at me, you see me, I hit the arrow helmet. Now I'm slowly just putting, you look at it, I'm not putting that much out there because the arrow helmet is helping me keep up. Plus, this is a slight flat line. This is a flat run. So with the flat runs, I am fine. So what I do is I keep up with everybody. I know the second hill coming up, and I know where it's at, but I'm not going to attack it that early. Watch my numbers when we get to that second hill. I'm going to wait till I'm about 4% in, and I'm gonna start attacking that hill. All I want to do is stay with everyone. I'm not gonna attack that hill early. I don't want to attack it too early, because if I attack that hill too early, I'm gonna tire out at the top of the hill. My whole goal is to stay with at least the second pack, and I'm thinking in my head, in the front of the second pack, just behind the first pack, and I should be fine coming down that hill, and I have a possibility of winning this race. So I'm really cluing in. I'm starting to nail in my strategy for this. The big thing people see with me when I was racing these, and I really started having a lot of fun with it, was I strategize these. I study and break down what I'm planning to do with these races. So as I'm coming through here, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, cool. This is a negative right here, -3. I put a little speed in to force them to try to keep up with me. You notice everybody's starting to climb with me, but I'm really not putting in a lot of power. I let them slide back in front of me. Look at my draft numbers. I let them pull me along so that I can just keep pulling along with them. I'm not going to attack this second hill too early. I don't want them to get too far ahead, but I'm thinking in my head, I have enough power to come back on them. So as we come through here, I'm strategizing this thing. I'm putting this thing together. Now look at it. It's at 2% climb. My numbers are still kind of under 500. Once at 2.5% climb, I'm just doing enough to stay with them. Now it gets up to almost 4%. Now we see my numbers kick in. I'm putting my power in now. Now what I'm trying to do, now you're gonna see me put even more once I see it click in to about 6%. I'm gonna put more power in. Now I put more power in, but I'm not trying to sell out, which I think I should have did. But you see, I let them get that far ahead of me. I'm just outside that front pack. So now what I'm doing now is thinking to myself, I'm gonna power into the down, which I didn't really need to do. I got another arrow helmet. I'm gonna hit the arrow helmet on the downhill. So that's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm gonna hit this arrow helmet on the down. So I hit the arrow helmet. I wanna say I hit it right in, as the hill go down, turn right here. I hit the arrow helmet right here. And so I'm using the arrow helmet right here. Now, normally, if you're a big guy, do not hit the arrow helmet going down. You don't need the help. But to me, I know this thing's gonna end at the bottom of this hill. I'm at 51 kilometers. You see, I'm at 51. I'm getting up to 60. I got the arrow helmet kicked in. You see how much I weigh? I'm thinking to myself, I got enough room to catch up. I'm at 72, 73, 74 kilometers, 76, 77, 78 kilometers. And I came in 8th. I started too late. And that's what cost me this race. I did not start this race on time. Now I'm back with you. And if you see, I had one strategy in the first one because I kind of got an idea where that race was, but I was looking at the wrong spot. Then when I got this race 2, the idea was that I was going to win this. I was going to try to win this race once I realized where we was going. I figured it was going to be a 50-cent mark, but I started my attack too early. So then I get here, and I think on the third race, which is the 75% of this race, I thought to myself that I would go at this race and I was attack on this hill and not let the pack get too far ahead of me, just stay at the tail end of the first pack of people. What happened with that race is I had enough speed to catch them, not enough distance to catch them down, walk them down. So in that race, as you see, I lost that race because I didn't have enough distance, but even though I hit 78 kilometers coming down that hill and everybody else was doing probably about 65, I didn't have enough time to walk everybody else down. Now the strategy is stay with the first pack on that second hill. Don't use my arrow helmet until I come through the bottom of that hill. And when it hits 0%, that's why I hit my arrow helmet to maintain that speed. You do not, as a big guy, hit that arrow helmet until it goes to 0 negative. That 0 percentage, then you hit your arrow helmet and you should be able to keep a lot of that speed off that hill. And I'm thinking to myself, if I stay in the first pack, in the middle of the first pack on this next race, I should be able to podium in this race. So let's see what the results from what I thought about putting these strategies together from 1, 2, and 3 races, 25, 50, and 75%. Let's see what the results of what happens when I put all strategies together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. And as we take off, now I've tried the 25% where I didn't know what was going on. I did the 50% where I timed it wrong and exhausted myself, came in 38th. The first race, I came in 8th. Second race, I came in 38th. Third race, I came in 8th again because I did not stay with the first pack. If I would have stayed with the first pack, I would have had a lot easier way of walking down, at least to get into number 3, maybe number 4. But I came in 8th because I let them get too far ahead. So with this race, I start off, you notice I'm way in the back of them, which I'm normally not, but I'm at, look at my draft numbers, 140. So what I'm doing now is I'm slowly letting myself walk into the pack. If you look at it, it's at 1%. I don't put a lot of power in and I slow down. Now this is all a conservative game. To me, everybody else is tired, which gives me an advantage. Because what the advantage I have is it's on these hills, I get to rest while they must struggle to keep up with me. And that's what I'm thinking. So as we're riding, my only goal is not let that front pack on that second hill. I will exhaust myself on that second hill to keep up with them, and I don't have to worry about putting in a lot of power coming down that hill. Now, you remember that last one on the 75% part of this race, I hit 78 kilometers coming down that hill. If we had a longer flat, I probably had enough time to walk people down. So as we come around this hill, I'm coming down through the rolling hills. I still haven't jumped down in front of people, but look at my draft numbers, 300. Every time we go down a little hill, look at my draft numbers. My draft numbers jump all the way up to like 300, 400%. Look at that, 300. And then I just stay with them. They slowly give me enough drive to get back up the next hill. Now watch this. We're gonna get through here, and I'm not trying to catch up to everybody in this pack. It's because of my weight in these hills. Look, because they giving me the draft pulls up and down the hill, plus my weight is working with me. I come down this hill, all I want to do, I don't want to leave it, but look at my numbers. I hit this hill just right. I don't power into right here when it gets up to 6%. I power over this hill, and watch what I do at the top of this hill. I back out. I slowly come back out of my power, and I let this hill do work for me. Look at me, I'm coming down this hill again. I don't mind, it don't matter to me if they catch me. I'm not out to beat them on this hill. I want them to work coming down this hill. I don't want to work coming down the hill. As we come to the flat, I'm waiting for it to hit 00. Once it hit, I hit the arrow helmet right here. And now that I hit the arrow helmet, I know I'm gonna get another one right here. So now I got my second arrow helmet. So as we're coming down through here now, I'm riding with them, and I know, okay, cool, I am going to conserve my energy for this next hill. That's my goal now. So as we're riding, I'm looking at everybody around, I'm looking at everybody's heart rates. You gotta remember, we don't put in, first race was like 3 kilometers, a mile and a half, 2 miles. The second race was 3 miles, almost 4 miles. The next race was 4 miles. So now we're on a race that's almost 5 miles. So we got a total of about 12, 13 miles in when we finish this. I know everybody's just starting to get tired, just like I am, but look at my heart rate, 150. Look at everybody in front of me. Their heart rates are getting low, but some of them are at 170, 168. But look at mine, I'm keeping it about 158. I'm not trying to do a lot of work. Look at my draft. Even on going up a hill, 4%, I have a draft, but I'm staying just close enough behind them. I will not let the first pack get away from me. So as we're riding down this hill, I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool, we're going up. Once we're on the negative. What I want to do is just get close enough to stay with that front pack. I'm going to have to burn myself out, but I am not going to power into the downhill. I refuse to power into the downhill. So as we get, I'm going to power some in to get me started, but not to the extent where I was tired at the bottom of the hill. I need to get my heart rate down. So once I come over that, I pull out in front. I ease up, but I still pedal up. But you notice everybody's got to catch up to me before we get hit. So what I want to do is kind of see if I can keep myself from getting tired by keeping the speed up, but make them tired by keeping up with me. Now the strategy is to hold on to this arrow helmet. Now watch, I'm going to attack this hill when it gets to 4%. I'm going to attack this hill, and at 7%, I'm going to put a lot of power in to get up over the crest of this hill. So as we're riding, you see where I'm at. I'm in the middle of the pack. Look at my draft numbers. It's hard to see right here because I guess I need to start backing a little shallow on that so you can see it better. But right here, we're at 4%. I'm attacking the hill, 500 watts. Now, once we get to 7%, I'm getting close to it. You see, I put 800 watts in. I'm putting the watts in. Now, my goal is to stay in this front pack. So what I do, I burn out and stay in this front pack. Look at me. I'm in this front pack. And I'm thinking to myself, one guy's already taken off. But I figure, okay, cool, my fight is just to get third. Because I know one guy's already taken off. So I power up over here now. I don't want to go full out power down in the downhill. So look at my numbers. I'm powering just enough to get me the speed going up. And then I kind of back out of it once we get down. You see, I'm backing out of it and I'm letting them, I'm pedaling, but I know it's going to come steep right here. And that right here, this steep right here, this is what I needed. Now look at my numbers, 60 kilometers, 70 kilometers soon. I'm at 70, 71, 72. I didn't get all the way to 78, but I got 72 kilometers, 76 kilometers. That's where I'm at. And I just hit the arrow helmet right there. No, I'm waiting for it to get to 0%. Sorry about that, y'all. So I'm right behind him. Once it hits 0%, I hit the arrow helmet. I hit it right here. Now look at my speed. I hit the arrow helmet right here. As I hit the arrow helmet here, I pass him. I noticed that the number one guy is right in front of me. Now the arrow helmet is still going. So what I do is I power back into it because I still have momentum coming off that hill. I come past him at 58 kilometers. He is still doing like 46, 49. He could not catch me. Perfect strategy that I put together for this win. I was so excited. I gotta let y'all know I was through the roof on this. With that being said, thank y'all for watching this video. Thank y'all for doing great with me. Have a great day and ride on.